Hello, everybody. It's Reverend Felicia Parazaider, and I'm a speaker, and I'm an author, and I'm a sacred activist, and what else am I? An interfaith minister. I wear a lot of hats. I do a lot of things. Done a lot of gigs. Yeah. No. So I'm here doing a video. I haven't done one in a while. Thank you so much. There's a few of you that have been writing saying, would you do some more videos? You're not doing as many videos. And I don't know what's been going on with that. Just very, very busy. And so I got a great question just the other night, and it is this. How do we spread a message of love? How do we spread a message of love? So I gotta tell you that the answer is not going to be super sexy tonight. And this is actually going to be the first video in a 4-part series, I decided. So this is number 1 out of 4 videos. So while this answer I give you in this video, at least tonight's video, might not be like the pop and the sexy thing because it's not immediate, it is important, and I believe in it. So here it is. A few years ago, I'm at Barnes & Noble in Emeryville. I was still living in the Bay Area at the time. And I see this man that I would regularly see. He was a regular at the cafe like myself. I used to go there and write. And I sat down and he and I start talking. And somehow we begin to talk about same-sex marriage. And he asks me, so as an interfaith minister, you would officiate a same-sex marriage? You would be okay with that? And I said, absolutely. Yeah, of course. And he's like, oh, I don't agree with that. And so he begins to tell me these different things, and his statements are full of homophobia. And I say some things, and he says some things, and every conversation in life is different. I mean, sometimes you know to exit. Sometimes you go, there's like this thing that in my mind, in my heart, my soul, that goes, I think I need to stay. And something told me to stay that night. And so I did. And I just listened, and I'm just listening. And it wasn't silence in the sense of complicity. There was something that was like, something's coming. And what happened is he began to talk about his life. He began to talk about his former marriage. He began to talk about his son. He began to talk about his current relationships and how they all end in misery and sadness. And really, he began to share with me, and what I began to hear was, I began to hear a story. I began to hear about what is going on behind the curtain, and really what made him who he was, this person sitting in front of me that night. Well, after at least 30 minutes, it could have even been longer, we had come to this interesting place, and we shook hands. And when I got home that night, I channeled something which is now called the 4-element pathway to love. And it has been something I've taught in Berkeley, and I'll be perhaps teaching it again in LA when I start my services up again shortly. And so this pathway, it has 4 elements. There's these 4 stages, almost, you could call them. 4 steps. And I channeled it that night, and it's basically nonviolent theory and my own personal life experiences and just tons of training and education and skills, and of course, God. The spiritual piece of it all runs through it, is weaving in and out of it. So here it is. So how do we spread a message of love? My friends, the first element, the first thing in order to do that is this. We must remember who we are. That is the first element. Number 1, remember who you are. Does anybody remember the American Express ad many years ago? That, your American Express card, don't leave home without it. Don't leave home without this. You can't leave home. You can't forget this one. This is the first element, and it is critical. It is so important for us to know who we are. This woman came up to me when I first taught this. She went, I really liked your sermon tonight, but who am I? Great question. What does that mean? Okay, so I'm supposed to remember who I am, but who am I? You're made in the image of God. And if you don't like the G word, that's okay. I understand. A lot of times people are like, you know. You're made in the image of pure love. Boom. You were made in the image of pure love. You're made in the image of God. In Latin, it's imago Dei. In the book of Genesis, it says imago Dei. That's who you are. We've had life experiences. We've had tragedies. We've had traumas. Gosh, by the age of 20, who knows what's happened in your life? And so you begin to forget that. You begin to, the debris and all these different things occlude the fact that you are made in the image of all that is holy, all that is pure, and that is what is true. That is the truth of it, of who you are. And when you remember this, when you come back to this ancient knowing, this is when you can begin to do the magic. But you have to, before you begin spreading even this message of love, you have to know it, that you're the message of love, that it's within you. That's the first element. I'm just going to leave you with that tonight because I'm at 6 minutes or so. There's 3 more elements. Please watch the next 3 videos that I will stagger in the next 3 nights and practice this throughout your day. And when you forget, if you notice yourself slip off that sort of that pathway, that first element pathway, boom, you put yourself back on it and you go, I'm made in pure love. This isn't hocus pocus. This isn't kumbaya. This is real stuff. This is real stuff, and we have to do this if we want to radically shift ourselves and the violence that's in this world. If we want to be the change makers and the change agents that we so hope to be, boom, we've got to do it. There it is. That's it. Okay. I'm over and out. This is the Rev talking to you, coming to you from LA, sending you lots of love. Viva.